Hi folks, this is John Garger with another video presentation. The title of this one is The Practical Benefits of Academic Copy Editing. What do you get for your money? There are a lot of good articles out there that discuss copy editing. That's not what this video is about, because this is about the practical rather than the technical benefits of copy editing, and I'm focusing specifically on academic manuscripts such as journal articles, conference papers, theses, and dissertations. Before I begin talking about the practical benefits of academic copy editing, I need to discuss copy editing in general. And the best way to do that is to discuss four types of editing. Proofreading is about removing the irrefutable errors in a manuscript, and that revolves mainly around punctuation and grammar. A step above that is copy editing, which deals with style inconsistency, such as changing passive sentences to active sentences and dealing with formatting issues like headings. Substantive editing is about clarifying and reworking the manuscript, deleting things and rearranging things to make the writing better or more concise or whatever happens to be wrong with the manuscript. Above that is developmental editing, and that's where you're developing and rewriting the manuscript. There you will actually add content and you're dealing with more structural issues. So, benefit one is about cleaner copy, and that may seem obvious, but let's talk about it just a little bit. Academic writing is a form of technical writing, and the goal of technical writing is to be brief and clear. And when it comes to brief and clear, you're talking about concise writing. The goal in academic writing is to be concise. Expressing much in few words is a good way to think of concise writing. Part of concise writing is reducing redundancy. For example, take the phrase completely annihilate. That phrase is redundant because the word annihilate means to completely defeat. So completely annihilate means to completely defeat, and in that way it's redundant. That's the kind of thing that's removed from academic writing to make it more concise. Concise writing is also about reducing verboseness. Take the phrase in a quick manner. If you said in a sentence, John walked in a quick manner, you could just as easily have said John walked quickly. The adverb quickly is a wonderful substitute for the verbose phrase in a quick manner. And that's also a type of concise writing. Reducing verboseness is actually quite important in academic as well as technical writing. Benefit two is big when it comes to academic manuscripts because it's about creating shorter manuscripts. After copy editing, a manuscript is about 8 to 12% shorter than it was before the editing, and that means that a 30-page article becomes 27 pages. A 10,000-word manuscript becomes 9,000 words, and a 150-page dissertation is reduced to 135 pages. That's important because of two reasons. One is it helps you conform to a journal's length requirement. Larger manuscripts can get closer to the maximum length allowed by the journal, and it also allows you to cut less content by making the manuscript more concise. For example, let's just say that a journal has a maximum length allowed of 8,000 words and your article is 10,000 words. Well, by reducing 1,000 words after copy editing, that means you've only got 1,000 words left over to cut as far as content. So more of your content remains in the article. It also helps the readers get through your article quicker, and that's a wonderful thing when it comes to reviewing, and editors particularly look for manuscripts that are concisely written, not verbose, doesn't contain a lot of redundancies like we talked in the last slide, and quite frankly, concise writing is more likely to get cited because, again, it's going to be perceived as good writing and good content. Benefit 3 has to do about making your manuscript conform to standard English. First, when you do so, there's no guesswork on the part of the reader, and that means the reader is spending more time on the content of your paper and less on the exposition or the writing. Exposition most definitely influences the perception of content. So if you have wonderful content in your manuscript, but it's written poorly, the content is going to be viewed less favorably. Also, you can reduce the awkward phrasings in your manuscript. For example, I was editing a paper recently, and the author kept using the phrase return rate in the financial sense, when rate of return, or just simply rate, would have been much more expected by the reader. And that's really one of the most important parts of conforming to standard English, is that you want to meet the expectations of the reader. And that can include multiple stakeholders, especially editors and reviewers, who are the people deciding whether your paper gets published, but also other researchers after the publication appears in print. The previous three benefits really combine to create benefit 4, fewer desk rejections. And that is a goal of any researcher who tries to get his or her papers published in a journal. First of all, it helps reduce wasted time. One of the worst things that can happen is for you to wait weeks or months for an editor or the reviewers to get back to you just to find out that your manuscript must be edited before resubmission. Once again, exposition influences perception of content. You always want to put your best foot forward whenever someone is evaluating your work, especially when it comes to getting your work published in a journal. When you project an image of competency in writing, you will also project an image of competency in the content of what you did in your paper. So that wraps up the 4 practical benefits of academic copy editing. If you're looking for more information on copy editing, or if you're looking for copy editing services, visit my website at johngarger.com.